Baby, that volume.
All right. I believe our Sports Network. Such a time as this. We're at our weekly podcast, 7:30 on Tuesday night. Coming off a bye week, and we're ready to see some football. That's been our second bye week. So it's going to be a night game at the Valley, 7:30. I love night games. They're electric. And just before we get started and introduce our two guests that we're excited about, let me just talk about a couple of sponsors that we have. Okay, we have Anderson Ford. We don't know for yet. Well, I'll know tomorrow. We should be doing a live show Saturday before the game at Anderson Ford. That's on Clemson Boulevard, like you're going into Anderson. And if you've never seen our shows, if you're in town, come on out and see us, or we'll have it on YouTube. We'll have it streaming live on Facebook. JR Ministries came on recently. That stands for Jamaican Relief Ministries. They actually came on right before the hurricane, and they actually started out of Jamaica. There was a couple, and to raise money as a nonprofit, it's kind of a ministry for people through hurricane, and they moved up and they started one in Abbeville, and they got one on 176 as you go into Hilton and Clemson, and they got a big thrift store out there. I mean, it's a big thrift store, a lot of nice furniture stuff. They do a lot of good causes. They give back a lot of their money to good causes, like couples that are trying to buy their first home. They give a percentage of the proceeds back to them. Broken Road Barbecue, also a sponsor. They can pick up your tailgate if you like really good barbecue, Southern barbecue, going into 176 at Tiger Liquor. He set up every home game. Allstate, Michael Dent, like a good neighbor. No, that's State Farm. Michael, I'm sorry. You're in good hands. Michael Dent, he's over there in Powdersville. El Humidor, Mexican restaurant. And I know Rob talked about going by there, but they got Mexican restaurants. I don't know. A lot of people, it's usually not my first choice, but it's become my first choice. They came on as a sponsor. And, when you go to a Mexican restaurant, they give you a book. And there's so much stuff on there. Half the stuff I don't know what it is. But I went in there and I ordered a Philly. It's like a cheesesteak burrito. The thing's huge, unbelievable. I've been in there like 15, 16 times. I don't even look at the menu. They say the regular. I say, bring it on out. That's what we got. All right. Who else do we have here? Let me just say one thing. We're going to introduce our guest. I want everybody to go to our website. I had lunch with my IT guy today, and a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And some of the SEO works he's done, the search engine optimization, drawing traffic to that website, building that website. If you haven't been to it lately, he's done some amazing things. We're going to start giving away a shirt or some kind of IBO product, like a hoodie, a shirt, or cap. You go there and you register every week, and we'll give that away, and we'll announce it on the podcast. Also, we're going to have like a little chat board in there, kind of like Tiger Net. We're talking about that today. Sean Allison, the man. I mean, he talks this IT stuff, and it just goes above my head. I know when he does that, I know he knows what he's talking about. So, got a lot of other sponsors, but just don't have time to mention. So, without further ado, we guest today, and I was excited when she said she'd do it. So, we got Carla Boyd, who is, if you don't know who she is, she's written a book. That's Taj Boyd's mother. And we got Mcmiller, and that's Sammy Watkins' mother. So we got two mothers from the Clemson families of two stars. So they've lived the Clemson football life and a little bit of NFL. So glad to have you ladies on here tonight.
Glad to be invited.
I'm honored.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Last time we had Carla on, we were talking about a new book that you were working on, and it was a collaboration with some other mothers. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Right now, it just looked like me and Nicole, we're going to start it off. We're just going to get some recruiting stories and some inspiration stories for other families and, athletes. So, we can give them some pointers on what worked and what didn't work for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's a lot, me being blessed and having my son going to the NFL, it's a lot that goes with that. Starting out from high school grades to, going on to college and getting there, and then just dealing with different things. Like you go through a lot, but
bet.
you know, it is what it is. We just stick together as a
Mhm.
family and we push through it all.
Yeah. And one of the things that I always love to ask, and we talked about this with Carla last time. So tell us, what was it like when Sammy was getting recruited in high school?
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot.
And
So many
Clemson really,
people.
Dabo talks about it. Clemson really wasn't the team to go to. We were not. We weren't at where we're at right now. We were having like 500 seasons and stuff like
Hey,
that.
It was the Taj Boyd and the Sammy Watkins that laid the foundation.
I know that y'all. They laid the foundation. They did. They really
Yeah,
did.
Sammy had offers from almost every college it was. We wanted him to make sure whatever school he was gonna pick, he was gonna be good with that. We really didn't want him in Florida like that because we come from Florida. So he was a humble kid. So going to Clemson, that was the best decision he could have ever made, and we backed him with it. We didn't make the decision for him. We allowed him to make the decision, and we backed him in.
Yeah.
We don't regret it.
You know what Dabo said on the radio today? He's talking about Sammy Watkins and Trevor Lawrence. He says those are the two low maintenance, low key superstars that he's had come on there. So
Yeah, very humble, very humble.
yeah.
Well, it's like people don't really realize how close like Clemson really is with the fans. Like, when these kids are out in the town, I mean, fans, treat them just like anybody else,
Yes.
I mean, obviously some are probably asking for autographs and whatnot, but most of the time I think they're not bothered too much.
Yeah, the love from our Clemson family is tremendous. It's great.
Yeah.
We love it.
And that's one of the points that you kind of brought up about letting him make the decision, because I do see a lot of times where parents seem to get involved and kind of force them to go somewhere, and then the next thing you know, 3 years later they're wanting to transfer.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the guys are different.
Kim
You
Deacon,
got younger
that
guys
was a
now,
big
but
one.
it's different. It was different from then, than with the guys now coming out.
Yeah. Like Robert Kim Deacon, or if I can say his name right, that was a big one that, he committed to Clemson. And then what the rumors came out is the mother said, no, you're going over here. So, and then he decommitted and committed to Ole Miss.
Yeah, we didn't even have Clemson on our radar. Taj was, Tim wanted Taj to go to Oregon, Jim Tressel.
Oregon,
I mean, he loved Oregon. It was just, and when Dabo came in, Tim was like, Clemson. And Boston College head coach was pissed off at us, like, ain't won nothing since sliced bread. So, with Clemson, we didn't know. TJ knew, but we had no idea. We didn't sway him. If anything, Tim wanted Taj to go to Ohio State or Oregon, but Taj chose Clemson. So, and now look.
Yep.
So I forgot. Where'd y'all grow up? Where Taj is from? Originally?
Okay, so we were a military family.
Okay.
I met my husband in Jersey. Then we moved to Florida. We got stationed in Florida, and then from Florida we went to Virginia. Then we went to Georgia. Then we went back to Virginia. Then we was in South Carolina. So Taj was born in Albany, Georgia.
Okay.
And
is that where he played high school?
He played high school in Virginia, Hampton, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. We're from the 757.
Gotcha.
Person
it was a good big recruit that we were getting out of Virginia, and I remember that a lot of people in Virginia were not very happy about that.
Yeah, they said Beamer let Taj get away, UVA let Taj get away. They were so mad at that situation, but like Taj didn't want to stay in Virginia.
Yeah.
And and Tim said Clemson had an SEC feel, and we were military, so we traveled a lot. So we was like, this a faith move. We wasn't helicopter parents.
Yeah.
We knew something big.
What we hear more than anything is this: like, if you can just get them on the campus, it kind of goes like this. Well, I went to Alabama, I went to Georgia, and then I stepped on the Clemson campus and go, I can't really explain it. There's something in those hills. There's some feeling, family atmosphere and I feel it here. I'm going to Clemson in the morning. Every time I'm there, I just can't explain it. It's like everybody's family. It's close knit. group of people, and everybody knows everybody, and there's just that feeling on campus. I think that recruits a lot of people. Ben Hall said the same thing. You know, they flew him down to Alabama, got him a good old meal and everything, and he said he went to Clemson, and he just knew when he stepped on campus. So,
now, when Sammy was being recruited, was there one school that you really thought he was actually going to go to other than Clemson?
The Gators, Miami Hurricanes, maybe even Florida State, because my husband loved Florida State. So his father, he loved Florida State. So those were the teams we thought he would pick, you know, somewhere in Florida. When he said Clemson, we were shocked. But Sam is a humble kid. He's not we from the city, Fort Myers, Florida. So he's more like a homebody. So it was really, really good for him. It was good.
Yeah,
that's good. So I always like to know, was there any any really good funny stories during the recruitment?
My husband will have to tell that. Come here, babe. Come on, so you can tell this story real quick. This is my husband, James.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm actually in the kitchen.
Sammy, he's one of my favorite all-time
put some dinner together. But a real funny story was that, you know, Clemson to us was kind of like foreign. We didn't really know a lot about Clemson. It wasn't advertised on TV. Their games wasn't shown a lot on the TV. So Sam went, and he had 5 official visits that he could actually take. So I think he marked them off as USC. At that time, USC was really hot. Miami Hurricanes.
Gamecocks or the California?
Not the Gamecocks, California.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think
one of the Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks was just, we hadn't heard of really South Carolina really on the national scene. So it was USC, Southern California. Miami Hurricanes was his favorite team at one time. When he was a kid, I'm a Florida State fan. He liked the Hurricanes, so we used to go at it. So, but the funny story is, he went to Clemson. Brad Scott and
Brad Scott,
y'all remember Brad? Brad came down, and Brad was close friends with Sammy's high school freshman coach, Joe Hampton. And so Joe Hampton kind of said, "Hey, I know you guys are recruiting Broderick Jenkins, which is another prospect from South Fort Myers. I know you're recruiting him, but you need to come see this other kid." And he wasn't, you know, they couldn't officially touch him or recruit him or nothing or anything. So what they did was just send him a letter of, you know, "Hey, we're Clemson," introducing themselves. But he went on an official visit, and I was working. I was driving trucks, and money was tight back then. So he was like, "Dad, y'all need to come up to Clemson." After his first visit, I think he went to a camp. He went to a camp. He went to a camp. So he was like, "You need to come up there and see it." I said, "Man, I'm not taking no day off of work. You know how much that's going to cost me if you're not serious about Clemson." He looked me dead square in the face and said, "You might as well take that day off," because he was that serious about his decision on what he had pretty much made, but he kept it secret. He never told anybody until it was time to announce. But Sammy has always kind of knew where he wanted to be, and just it fit his personality.
Everything he thought it would be.
They actually did everything that I wanted as a. They made sure that he stayed out of trouble when he did get into trouble. They made sure that, hey, we're going to handle this accordingly, and you're going to be responsible for your actions. And that's some things that we always teach us. So when I seen that, I fell in love with Clemson. And
you know, you talk too much.
No, you're good.
Well, like I said, I love those stories, and you know, and that's why I think it's probably one of the greatest ideas of what you guys are trying to do with writing this book, because I think it can definitely help a lot of parents that are that's in this situation, especially now with the NIL and the whole transfer portal. Because back in your days, with those kids, there wasn't
we
really
should have been blessed with that. Yeah, we wasn't blessed with that.
The transfer portal was there, but it was a whole lot different. Like you transferred, you had to sit a year. Like it made it a little bit more meaningful to transfer if you wanted to transfer. Yeah. And I know everybody gives Dabo such a hard time about not taking kids from the portal, but I love what he says. He goes, I like the people that we recruit. Like he's homegrowing these kids, like homegrown. And you're not taking some kid. Nick Saban said it just best on game day a couple weeks ago. He said there's two kinds of people that's in the portal: kids that want more playing time or more money. And there's no loyalty to the teams anymore. And I hate it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You go back and you talk to the Taj boys, the Sammy Watkins, and they'll tell you, like, that school put me on the right track. And they stayed and they went all the way. And I love it.
Yeah. And they should. Yeah.
I will never forget how fast when I saw Sammy.
I got to plug in my computer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're good.
Didn't Sammy go for like a 77, 80-yard touchdown like in his first game?
Yeah, it was something close.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. I remember
it was crazy. I cried my eyes out.
I was going crazy. And I knew who he was then.
And that was like our first game. I had
first game of the season.
It was anxiety. Yes, I had so much anxiety. I didn't know how well he was doing.
It looked like he'd been shot out of a cannon.
Yes. So it was such a blessing. All I could do is cry tears and thank God.
Y'all like the game, I guess. Y'all were at Death Valley? Y'all go to Death Valley and see it?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in the stands. I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I said the first play that I saw Sammy and I saw how fast he was, I was like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
I said, CJ Spiller, who? I said, welcome to campus.
Good times for sure.
Like we did so well. He was doing, really well. And then we said that we was going to end up moving down there. Like he got into a little bit of trouble. So we just took off and said that we would move. So I packed up his car because I took his car from him. And I packed up his car with the few clothes on my back, and I took off, me and my oldest daughter, and then we came back like a month later. God blessed me to come back. I picked up my daughter and my husband, and we moved on in, and Carla was there for me from the day I moved there up until right now today. So I'm so thankful for you.
Y'all know
I'm thankful for you too. I'm thankful for you guys as well, because we need to get these stories out. Like, we stuck together. We did everything together.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot. And we raised our kids off of, love. Not saying that we were, poor or anything like that. We made things happen for our kids.
Yeah.
But, it's hard. It's a struggle. So Sam and them know, what the struggle looks like. So that's why, he's very humble. A lot of stuff don't really, he like what he like, but a lot of stuff don't matter to him because, love is more than anything. You can't buy that.
Taj is like that too. He never been materialistic. He just is humble.
Yeah.
Sammy just is humble.
Yeah, you go a long way like that.
That's the one thing I love about Taj Boyd is, that shows you the respect that they have for Dabo and the program is, they come back. CJ Spiller's on the staff. Taj Boyd is now on the staff. Like, I'm waiting for Sammy Walker. Ben Boulware.
I think it's in the making. I think it's in the making.
Ben Boulware is now back on the staff. It's just that tells you a lot.
I've heard Dabo's been talking to Sammy about coming back.
Yeah. He has. He really has. We haven't spoke on it too much more. Like I've been I'm ready to go. I said I'm finna move there. Let's go.
What's Sammy doing? Is he kind of like the semi-retired?
Just semi. Yeah.
He's still young. He's like what, 31 something?
He's 30. He's 32. 31 or 32. Mike. 31, wow. I think 31.
Yeah, because he came to Clemson. What, 13 or no? When did he come to Clemson?
Oh, he was around
11.
It was 2011, right?
11, 10, somewhere
11, 10, 11. Yeah.
Deshaun came in 13. 14.
Yeah, because you had the Taj Boyd, the Duke Hopkins, Sammy Watkins and all them.
Chad Morris came in.
It was the year that Chad Morris came in.
They had
Yeah,
Napier.
yeah,
We had the interview with Napier, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And and that's like I said, that was one of the things that I love is seeing these guys come back and whatnot. I hated that the Buffalo Bills had to draft Sammy Watkins.
And how about that was his favorite NFL team?
I was like, really?
I like the Bills.
But back then, though, around that time, though, the Bills were like not doing so well. Now the Bills are doing great.
Good, yeah.
But I just felt like when I saw him go up there, I was like, oh man, I wish he would have got on a little bit more of a winning team at the time. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe this will turn it around. Maybe they'll turn around. And but I just felt like the Bills, like when they got CJ Spiller, they didn't utilize him very well. And then it seemed like Sammy Watkins had a slow start with them. But you know what? I love watching him play for Kansas City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I'm not, but I did like watching him play for them. So
I still love Kansas City right now. That's as far as NFL teams, that's my favorite team.
They're doing good this year.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you who my favorite team is.
Hey, we know. That team with a star that thinks they're the best.
It's been
every
a big,
year.
long headache.
Yeah. We got a Super Bowl ring with them, so of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Bowl with them. We went to Tampa Bay and they knocked us down, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Now, how far along are you guys on with the book? Are y'all just getting it started, or y'all?
We just getting it started.
Doing one together?
Yeah, we're gonna put some stories together.
Okay,
Nice.
you share that.
And if we can get other moms, but they got to be committed and serious.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Because it won't take a long time.
Yeah, we all got our own. We all got our own stories. Something similar, but because everybody go through different things with their family, friends, and just life in general.
Yeah.
So we all have our own stories. So it would be great.
Yeah.
We know
that
together and do a book.
We know Miss Boyd was doing a lot of cooking for a lot of the boys. We heard that last time.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back so I can help her with that.
I know. I cooked for the linemen first because they was protecting Taj. So
I got to take care of them linemen.
That's why Coach Sweeney started calling me Mama Boy. He said, I heard you feeding them big jokers.
Those linemen are important. People don't realize that.
You remember JKJ, Philip Price. I mean, all of them.
I bet they can eat them.
I cooked some spaghetti for Shaq Lawson. He loved
Shaq.
it.
Good old Lawson.
We was in Buffalo. I cooked the spaghetti.
That's right.
He came over and got it. He loved it.
Nice.
But we just mothers to the other, players when their parents wasn't around.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I love the most, especially with Clemson, is you got those parents like you guys that hey, come on in. You're welcome to eat too. Come on
always
in.
welcome. I love to cook, and we do like Sam. Everywhere Sam go, he tell my mom cook the best seafood. So we are seafood eaters. We love seafood here.
Well, I'm a big scallop eater. I love scallops. So
Me
if you got a good scallop,
you have to taste my blue crabs and my stuffed shrimp.
Oh,
nice.
Now we're talking.
And mussels. Like I make a whole little combination with all that.
Yeah.
You'll hurt yourself.
So what time do I need to get?
I cook for Dabo, Brad, and Coach Hamp, and all of them. They loved it. Chad. I did some barbecue, baked beans, macaroni and cheese when they came to visit for Sam. It was crazy. I couldn't believe that they were in my house.
What time do I need to be there?
Whenever you want to be. Whenever I cook, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna call you and invite you.
Yeah. We do got them cooking skills, and I'm not afraid to share it with other people.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more cooking around the house too. I just kind of found like this little little interest in it, and I've been making some pretty good steak. I started watching Gordon Ramsay and how he does some of his recipes, and I've been trying to emulate some of those recipes. But
you have not had a good steak until you try my husband's steak.
Nice.
He's really good in a steak or ribeye. He will shut the doors down with it. It's good.
I like charcoal. I still think it tastes better on charcoal than gas. That's just me.
We do charcoal and wood. Like we try to we do that smoke. We do a
It's
little
got
mix.
a better authentic taste to me.
Yeah. Man, y'all got me thinking y'all need a restaurant versus the book.
Well, you can do all of that. You do the book and you get the restaurant too. All that can fall in place.
You could buy a book and then come to our cafe.
Yes.
Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I want to say one thing for the fans that's listening. Like me and Coach Sweeney talked at the Orland Ball, and he was like, he shouted me out. He was like he knew me before he knew any of them. He been genuine from the day I met him.
Yeah, he's
been the same then, throughout, and always. And when I tell you, on my worst days when Tim first passed away, Coach Sweeney would answer that phone no matter what time of night it was. If Taj was having a bad day or we was having a bad day, he sent them coaches, Jeff Davis and them, Pierman. They all just, Jeff Davis, he made me cry. He was like, "We're gonna see about you and your family, like the widows, the fatherless and the widows, because it's in the Bible, and it's been like a family."
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm still here.
Yeah. Other schools can claim it. Other schools can claim it, but you can't tell me that Clemson and the program is more of a family than anybody else.
Yeah, they look out for those boys and they protect them. And one thing they do, if anything is going wrong, they make sure they reach out to the parents and let them know if anything is going wrong. They're there. And if they can handle it, they handle it themselves because, Sam has a father, but we're not there. We can't afford to be there, every weekend or all the time. So those kids, you got young boys running around and you can get into anything. So they were really, really good with keeping them in line. Like I said, Sam is a homebody, anyways, but they kept him in line.
Yeah.
They really did. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It was the father and my husband couldn't be there.
And that was one of the things I was going to say a little bit earlier too, that I just loved the fans and how they adapt in and kind of just bring in these guys. Like when I went to the one game, the Georgia game, and everybody was like walking around with these shirts with the dreads hanging out the back. And I was just like, that's just awesome, man. There was people walking around with like the wigs on and
with the orange spiky hair.
And making themselves look like they were Sammy Watkins. Like that says a lot.
Well, we the best crowd you could ever have. Clemson is the best stadium you can ever go to.
Oh yeah, there's no place.
All the love.
Tell people they haven't been. I take them. They're like, "What's it like?"
The tailgating is so amazing.
I'm so glad. Yeah, they announced a 7:30 game, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be
awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the whole weekend. It's gonna truly be a blessing. Like I said, to come back, it's been.
So you're gonna be there.
With me about 8 years since I've been there, right, Carla? Yeah. It's been about 8 years, so it's about 8 years. So
y'all got time to
really to go back and see everybody.
Yeah. So
you said you're living in Florida right now. Is that what you said?
Fort Myers.
Yes, we're in Florida.
Okay. Now and Carla, you're still in Clemson, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay. In the Piedmont area, Anderson County.
Anderson.
Yep. The county, but it's just been like we moved around with military, so I was like I didn't want to go back to my birthplace, which is Jersey. And I love South Carolina, and the support system here has been amazing.
South Carolina
it's a great area.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Everybody is friendly. Like when I first moved, there's people I didn't know, so I'm kind of reserved. They don't have to know you. They're gonna speak, ask you how you're doing, pray for you, God bless you. It's just to me. We always say it's God's country, so it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Carla, tell me a little bit about this coat drive.
Okay, so every year we team up with Fox News, the coat drive.
Oh, Fox News.
Carolina. Yeah, we team up with them for the last couple of years. So
they did actually announce it on the news. Like
like last year we did a mega donation of coats right on live on the air, and this year as well.
Okay.
So I was like very happy when Fox, and Clemson collaborated.
Yeah.
So
So
that
y'all are
was
doing
good.
some stuff for like Hurricane Helene?
Yeah,
People
so
leave
those
upstate.
coats, we started our coat drive earlier this year. So we got 6 drop-off locations.
Okay, I'm
And
looking
when
at
they
it now.
fill up, the business owners will call us, and I'll get, some volunteers, and we're gonna take the first shipment to Western North Carolina.
I'll share this if you want me. I'll share it on our
Yes,
page.
you can.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
Blessings.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sharing it right
Servant,
now.
he always love to give. He love to help. So the coat drive is something that's been on my heart for years. So we do it every year.
Yeah, and
Nice.
up there in Western North Carolina, it's starting to get cold.
Yep.
Some of those people still won't have a place to. I mean,
We already got somebody that filled the box up with hoodies for
Okay.
Western
Nice.
North Carolina. So
Antonio's Pizza in Piedmont. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Nason Accounting, 233 Adelaide Way, Greenville, South Carolina.
mm-hmm.
ACDC Sports, Oblate Orange sponsor. Calhoun Memorial Highway. I know them.
Michelle,
Yeah, I know
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
I did a commercial with Michelle about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Future Schools Academy, Malden.
That's where I'm mentor teenagers, middle school and high school kids.
Okay.
I spend a lot of the time over there. Future
Mhm.
Scholars Academy in Malden.
Okay. And then Dear Rosie's Boutique in Seneca.
Yep.
Okay.
So I got one pretty much in every county.
Yeah, it looks like it. 6.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Easily Greenville. Yeah. Nice. That's nice.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I was like we were talking about before the show started. Is my friend's church made a big donation, and so many people have come out to help, and it's wonderful to see when,
Yes.
when a state, how people just rally behind and help out and do what they can.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I mean, met neighbors I didn't even know I had. When it first happened because nobody had power.
That's right.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
All around the
needed.
neighborhood and 5 or 6 houses down. Now, next thing I know everything about them.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's
Everybody
needed.
came together.
Everybody
I'm
comes together.
serious.
Yeah, that's one good thing about it. I mean,
Yep. Everybody was peaceful and patient and working together.
Yeah, you have to come together as a community for sure.
Yeah.
This past weekend, a bunch of big country stars did a concert here in Charlotte to raise money. And I was actually watching an interview with Luke Combs, and he's from Boone, so that's a place dear to his heart. And he said when all this went down, he said he called his manager and said, "I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. We're going to put on a show to raise money." And he said his manager's first call was the Carolina Panthers, and he said his first call was to Eric Church.
Yeah, I saw that on Good Morning America.
And so the Tepper, I'm not the biggest fan of Tepper, but I'll give him credit for this. He donated everything that the concessions made. He did rent free on the stadium, and everything was 100% donated. And then all the ticket sales, everything. So 100% of the money that was raised in that concert went towards Western Carolinas.
Wow, amazing. Look at God.
Didn't Boone get washed out?
Yeah, Boone was hit pretty hard, and Chimney Rock was the one that
Chimney
really
Rock.
got
I go to
washed
Chimney
out.
Rock like twice.
Yeah, we tried to go to DuPont, North Carolina.
You ever been to Chimney Rock?
I heard. I haven't, but
it is a beautiful. It sits in between the mountains, and you won't find like a McDonald's. It's all these mom and pop stores and restaurants, and it's nestled in the mountains of Western North Carolina. And you got the French Broad River comes down, and I go there like twice a year, just kind of get away. And I was actually up there in July. It is, from what I've seen, it's pretty much gone.
I heard.
And I went up to Asheville Saturday, and I heard you can't even get. I mean, still, it's cut off.
Yeah, we tried to get to DuPont because we went to some wineries, and the roads it still looks so sad.
Oh, yeah. It's something out of
we had to do a U-turn to come back.
I seen roads that had cracks in it, there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that was just
there were several roads where the whole road was just gone, like completely just washed out, gone.
Blue Ridge.
I did read an article just the other day that said that most of the main roads are now back open, but a lot of little roads and little towns are still not.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
and I know Florida, like the Tampa area, is still trying to recover, I believe, too.
They are. They are. It was places where they didn't even expect for it to flood. More in the inland, and it. I don't know how it did it, but it did it. That's why you just never know with these storms. It's
y'all had
crazy.
another hurricane down there.
I had a friend that lived probably about a good 25 minutes away from me. It was like it was a storm coming, but it was different tornadoes hitting, like just in different spots. Like we had a warning here, so I had the closet fixed up and ready just in case we could jump in there or something like that. It hit my friend neighborhood, and she was very, very lucky because I think it just snatched her big front window out. But some of the other areas in there where it just ran through, them tornadoes just ripped through those houses. It's crazy. They're still cleaning. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Tornadoes ain't no joke.
Well, it's crazy. Like for us, like, Florida, they usually recover and bounce back pretty quickly because they're so used to, and kind of having things set and planned and whatnot. But, when you hear like a hurricane damaging the mountains area, like,
high elevation.
It's never happened. It's like 1 in a million years. I mean, we'll never see it happen.
And then we're still recovering from the last tough storm that we went through. Far as the beaches are still recovering.
I live in kind of a historic neighborhood with these big old oak trees. I live in Spartanburg. I go to Clemson every week. I'm fixing to move over at the end of the year, but I went to the game. And it was a night game. They had the game. We did a show that day, and I get back to Spartanburg. I'm getting off 85. It's about a 12-mile ride to my neighborhood. It's kind of near downtown area, Spartanburg. And I've never seen it. It was just pitch black. I mean, you can see. Is that the Westgate Mall? Is that Hardy? I couldn't see anything. And then I get to the house, and I'm like stepping over an oak tree. Nothing hit the house, but I had a friend who lives about 5 houses down. 2-story house, and he has 2 oak trees just went right through there. I mean, there are these oak trees. We got a lot of old oak trees. All the rain that came in, the 70, 80 mile an hour winds, you go walking down the sidewalk and the roots are like 12 feet up in the air. They slipped over. It's crazy. It's still like you got piles. They're finally starting to get all the wood off of it, out of the neighborhood, but it looked like a war zone.
Yeah.
And then
I want to share something. When we went to the Clemson night game, people had nothing to go back home to, and I kid you not, we left around 12:30 at night, and people were still tailgating. They was like, "Why go back home?" But I know they closed everything down like 2 in the morning. People said they ain't want to leave because the environment.
You got to go home and sleep in a dark house.
They made a little controversy about it, but the thing is what could you do about it at the time? It gave you a little bit of time to kind of get away, and not think about it for a while, enjoy football. And they talked about it. It wasn't like they weren't in simple. I mean, I was there and I enjoyed the game. I felt safe at the game.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of people that criticized Dabo for still having the game, and I'm like, well, it's not his decision, number one.
I've seen that. Well, why take everything away? You know what I mean? Like after somebody going through something like that, let them go and enjoy the game and just relax. You still have to go back home to some people, like you said, can't go back home, and then you have to go back to a home where there's no working lights, there's no nothing. So
I wasn't sure.
Enjoy yourself as much as you could.
And you don't realize what you got out there, and you're sitting in the dark, and then you keep forgetting. Every time I go in another room, I flip a switch, and I'm like, nah. You have to go out the car and charge your telephone.
They say you don't miss your water till your well run dry.
Now you really appreciate it. Cable is another story. It took 2 weeks to get it.
Oh, some Spectrum customers still out with.
Oh, that's who I got. Oh, it's been a battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the antenna. You remember the old school antenna?
Yeah.
I'd rather have one of them with 10 channels.
Those are good old days. They didn't have a remote.
We used to have aluminum foil wrapped around the top.
Foil wrap, you get 3 or 4 channels in.
And you got to point it to the sun. So you
can There's no bill. It's free. Now
I can't tell you how many times my dad would ask me to go move the antenna on the TV, and I'd stand there and I'd sit there and adjust it, and he'd be like, "All right, stop." and then I'd take my hand off, and it would go back to being blurry. And he would say, "No, move it," and I'd put my hand on it, and it would make it. He goes, "Now you just gotta stand there. Just stand there.
You gotta stand there."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it'll get fuzzy. You know, it get clear. The lines come through. It'll get fuzzy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some and Micole was calling us. Usually they go through some bad storms. She called us to make sure we was good.
After it was back and forth because you was calling up me to make sure I was good, and then I had to start, you know, the whole time, and then that storm do what it want to do. You know, you ain't got no handle on it. So
nope.
So then I had to check in on everybody there.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Now, are there other mothers and fathers that you guys keep up with from that class?
Carlita, Dandy Dozen, Jonathan Meeks.
Okay.
Awesome. And I've talked to Shaq, and I've talked to his mom, you know, here and there, but I actually seen him, you know, because he was, you know, it's been a while, but him and my son, my older son, was pretty good friends too.
Yeah.
So I would, you know, talk to him maybe over the phone here and there.
Hot Rod mother, Hot Rod.
Mom, I talked to her.
Yeah.
We do a phone call. Yeah. Here and there.
B Ford's mom, B Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce McNeil. The whole Dandy Dozen.
Grady Jarrett. I talked to his mom. We always be in touch. Yes.
Yes. So I asked Coach Sweeney, what does he think about when he do his all-in ball next year, bringing the Dandy Dozen moms back? He was like, you know what? That's a good idea. And it's on his agenda. So Nikki,
I love it.
Everybody that helped the foundation.
Yeah.
He would love for them to everybody tell a snippet of something about Clemson. We could go viral with that.
Yeah,
tell people
there's a lot of good stuff to tell about Clemson. Clemson is really, you know, my family, you know, I was able to go to them for anything, you know, nothing monetary, just when you need somebody to talk to about your kids. If it's a situation, we come together as a family and handle that situation, you know, because Sam went through a situation and everybody was doing everything they needed, you know, to do so we can get everything, you know, situated with him. So I am really grateful.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players look up at Dabo as kind of not a father, but a father figure they can talk to. You got problems. They can, you know, he seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever met Dabo, he's been humble. He's like, he concentrates on, I mean, you have 100 people in the field and he's talking to you and sincere, just a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how he do it, boy. He be pouring into them. Remember when he went on the news and said he gave Taj 2 weeks to say yes? He didn't give him no ultimatum. He said, "You're gonna give me 2 weeks to let me know you coming back to coach."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was after hard times of losing Tim, not knowing what he wanted to do.
That 4th and 16. I mean, that play right there.
He reeled them in.
Yeah. When you look back, Clemson went on their run, and they're playing LSU. What bowl was that? It was
the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Chick-fil-A Bowl. Thought the game was over. I mean, with a chance.
Sammy got hurt, and we were scared. Remember?
Yeah, with a chance to get a
never beat clowning them. I was so bad. Yeah. You know, we'd never beat them.
Yeah.
I wanted them so bad. We could never beat clowning them, man.
Yeah. And then we kicked that last second field goal and won.
Yeah. Oh my God, Catman.
Look,
I was shaking. I was shaking because I already knew.
The kicker?
Yeah, Catman, Catanzaro.
I mean, you talk about you may either be a zero or the hero. That's it. I mean, it's like it's going to define the season here.
That gave me chills for the rest of my life every time I watch that game.
No, I know you two were probably at the game, but I was actually at that game too. A buddy of mine actually.
You were at the game? I wasn't there. I was watching
a bunch of tickets, and I was in the end zone in Atlanta because I was living in Atlanta at the time. So my buddy got me these tickets. Now he was a big UGA fan, but he was like, "Well, I'll come watch it because it's an SEC team beating or playing against Clemson." So I said, so I was with a UGA fan, but I was right dead center of that goalpost when he kicked it through that. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yes.
I went nuts.
Crazy.
But I thought the game was over. Like, I was like, it's over. It's 4th and 16. It's over. And then Taj dropped back and threw that dime to Nuke Hopkins. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I got chills right now.
Yes.
Well, they say that was the defining, like, pushed us over the mountain. And then we went on that run. That was the momentum kicker.
Yeah.
And then, and then Deshaun and all came on campus, and then we went on.
I mean, and then, like, it's just like
put us on the map.
Greatness breeds greatness. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I believe we're making a comeback. I think we're going back toward that.
Let's go.
We're on a roll right now. We won 6 in a row, 5-0 in ACC.
I gotta ask though, if I ever see Sammy Watkins in person, I'm gonna ask him who was faster, him, Ford, or Hopkins.
Sammy's
pretty fast.
My husband loves Sammy. He was like,
he was pretty fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
that Georgia game
Ford had some speed too, and that's why I always wondered. I was like, I know they raced. They had to have.
Nah, that Georgia game.
I just can't. Like it's been so long, but I know they was racing and stuff. He was smoking. I will say that.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget
the Georgia game. The Georgia game.
Yeah.
That Georgia game was crazy.
Sammy lowered his shoulder and ran the boy over.
Yep. I was about to say,
let's get out of the way.
Forget when he plowed that Georgia boy over.
Get out of the way. Let's go.
Almost fainted.
I was literally in the stands in that game, and I was going, "Move, get out the way."
We saw Phil Moffitt.
I jumped up. I was like, "Lay down, lay down." Lay down.
The way he lowered his shoulder and ran him over.
He just nicely propped it in.
Derrick Henry move.
And went on about his business. Yeah.
I mean, they showed out on national TV and got to a national level. I mean,
I know somebody has.
So I'm assuming y'all went to
I'm gonna still look for it. I search for it all the time. I try to Google it all the time because I know somebody has a picture, like that picture at the moment that he just lowered the shoulder and ran him over. Like I want that snapshot.
It's on video.
I know. I done seen the video. I ain't never seen the snapshot.
Snap it off.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to find the picture that I can frame and just hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He dropped that shoulder nasty.
I mean, Clemson was like, people like one of the Boston College coaches was like, Clemson, when Coach Sweeney came to our house, we never heard of him.
I used to go back to get Sam, like after the game, we would tailgate. Every time around the time to go get him, I would always go get him. Because it was so many people, we would try to disguise him.
Oh my God, yes.
They could tell his build and stuff. Like we would get him on a golf cart. It didn't work because it was
they got in the back seat of somebody's car one time. It was Sammy, Taj, and Jonathan Meeks. People was looking for them.
It was crazy.
Nikki, can I share the secret about the spring game?
Go ahead.
I'm sure. I am absolutely sure that
wait till he finished talking.
When Dabo Swinney took over as coach and started going out on the recruiting trail as the head coach, I can't imagine. I'm sure somebody was like, Dabo, what redneck guy's coming up in here?
He talked about, look, guys. He said, I don't got no resume or nothing. He came in our house in Virginia. He said, I believe you can help me turn this program around. To Taj. He said he was watching the Army All-American game, like laying back like this. Mm-hmm. And he said Taj was co-MVP with Bryce Brown. He was like, please get him and his family on campus. The first visit, we couldn't make it. I was sick. And then the second visit, we came. And people was like, who is that? Dabo. They was talking junk.
Dabo.
Yeah.
Dabo. But guess what? His name? His name's Christopher, really. He had a brother.
I know. But y'all don't know this secret.
I remember they said they're going to announce. I came home to see the announcement. They said announcing the new head coach, and I got home, and they said, Dabo Swinney. I'm like, who? I didn't know who he was. I'm like, who's this guy? And I remember that speech. He got up there, and he says, all I'm asking is for everybody to be all in. And I know it's been a while since we won a national championship. But I guarantee you, if you're all in, we're going to be back there sooner than you think. And it was kind of like a.
So what's the little secret you're about to spill here?
Okay, so Taj High School coach Bill D and Danny Pearman were best friends. So when Coach Sweeney came to our house, he had Danny Pearman with him and Billy Napier. And Taj High School coach ain't care for Napier, but he loved Pearman. So I think that got something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pearman and Coach Bill D best friends.
Nice.
And people was, and then Jim Tressel came after Dabo left. Then after Dabo left, Tressel left, Chip Kelly came.
Yeah.
Jim Tressel was in our house.
Yeah.
And
Taj I always liked Tressel at Ohio State. When he left, that's when I was like, I never really cared for much for Ohio State, but I always respected Tressel.
Mm-hmm. It just, that visit though, okay. Clemson was the only Christian non-alcoholic visit out of all the official visits. Kathleen was like, you want some more brownies? You want some more coffee? Everybody else is trying to feed us margaritas. That Ohio State visit, I vaguely remember. We got stuck in the snow there at Margaritaville.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Clemson was the only non-alcoholic visit.
They got to play for Ohio State.
Yeah.
I've never been a Buckeye fan.
That's why we got to do this book.
Woody Hayes hit what's his name? Anyways, hit her player. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Why am I forgetting his name? But it doesn't matter. But I was at that game, and at Ohio State, I hadn't liked him since.
Google it. Look.
So, Mcole, what would you say would be your first tip to an up and coming parent / recruit?
My tip is to make sure that they're getting their grades and completing everything they need to complete to go to the next level. It's very important, and they're going to need that to get to the next level. So, and then to be there with your kids. Like I studied with my son, I sat there and I did everything I needed to do. And then you have to be like, you can't play around with it. You got to get ahead of it as far as getting their tests, them taking ACT or SAT. All that stuff is very important before you can even go to the next level. You can't say, okay, my kid is going to college when they haven't even, when they're not getting their grades or haven't even started taking their tests. That stuff needs to be scheduled. They need to have tutors. Yeah. It's just a lot to get you to that next level. And then you have to keep your, like Sam, he was willing to work and ready to work, but it was he had to sacrifice a lot. Sam couldn't be out there just running around and playing. Yeah. Sam had to be in those books. And I teach all my kids that, be in those books and do everything you need to do to get to the next level because it's very, very important.
Well, not only that, making the NFL is a low percentage. So, having those good grades, not just in high school,
different
but
cities,
also in
especially
college.
Coming from here. Dion went from here, but it's been a few guys have went from here, but it's like you said, it's a very low percentage. He have to love what he's doing.
2, 3, 4%. And Dabo, that's what I like about him. He goes after, make the man first, school, God, faith, and then football. Because he knows that most of them are going to make a career in the NFL.
He's first in all of it. God is first. It's times where Sam said, we've been to high school football games. I've seen people like admire him. I couldn't believe it. I used to always, he did a photo shoot and was in a newspaper, and it was a picture of him. And then I had a picture that he had took at school, and it just looked like a lot of lights was from around him. So I took that picture and I put it on my refrigerator and I kept it there. And I just said, it just looked like he would be, in the spotlight, like the big lights at the college games. I hadn't even thought about NFL right then. It was just him going to college, being able to get an education because that's big. coming from us. Graduating high school is big, coming from the area that I grew up in. So that was very important with my kids, to make sure you graduate, because it wasn't easy for me, but I made it work. I was a teenage mom. So you have to I had to do all that, and try to be a mom. So my kids grew up with me. I was young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Miss Boyd, same question. What would be your biggest tip right now to the up and coming parents and recruits?
Okay. They, like I said, they got to stay focused. They got to get them SAT, ACT scores. The little known secret: Taj came out of Phoebus High School early, came to Clemson, played on a torn ACL in high school to win a state champ.
Wow.
Graduated early, came to Clemson, went back to Virginia, graduated. Dedicated, put his mind to it. They got to put their mind to it. Like Taj ain't hanging the streets when he was in high school because of the trouble that came with it. And Tim always said, like, Tim had to take Taj Carr before, like, Nikki had to take Sammy Carr, because if you not focused in D1 football, you won't. Look, he said you could turn that equipment in. TJ said, Dad, this ain't little league, but but they got to be focused. And with Clemson being a small, go to a school where you're going to be focused, not because of the glitz and the glam.
Yeah.
You got to go where, like Coach Sweeney, NFL or not, Taj successful in everything he done. You know what I mean? To be able to coach and have the respect of, young men looking up to you. Like young athletes, everybody ain't gonna make it to the league. Some people could be a coach, teacher, a mentor. You could do so many things. So these kids gotta be focused and shut all the social media out and not let the pressure of the family. They gotta do what's in their heart. You know what I mean?
And it's influences. There's so many influences out there. Like I have an older son, that was just as good as Sammy, not as big, but he was very good. His name is Jari. Sometimes your kids take different paths.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm dealing with my son. Last year was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Sammy's older brother. So it's a struggle with that, but through it all, we'll be okay. I know God will get us through it. But he was just as talented. Sam was talented, but he just was a small frame. And sometimes when you're small, you get discouraged because they don't look at you like that. So, it's a little bit of discouragement. And then, you try to, like I said, again, me and my husband tried to keep my kids away from, anything in the streets in the neighborhood that we was brought up in. So you just have to let these kids know that, no matter the size or whatever God got for you, you got to put God first, and you got to put your best foot forward. So you have to press on.
Yeah. And I know that for a lot of kids in some areas, like football is their way out. And so, and that was going to be like my next question. If there's a tip to it, what is because I know that, coaches are coming in your house like daily, sometimes weekly, whatever. How do you weed through the ones that are BSing you, if you will?
Okay. Let me start this one off. Dickie, you going to follow up. Okay. I knew we knew, like my husband, military guy, we knew some of them was shooting the breeze to us. But we felt like Coach Sweeney was genuine at all. It was Philip Fulmer first, and then he got fired. So Taj decommitted. Then he loved Philip Fulmer. He would have been in Tennessee if Fulmer wouldn't have got fired. But he loved Coach Sweeney. Coach Sweeney put that belief in him, like, I believe you can help me change this program around. And I had people crying because that's exactly what he said. But you could tell them coaches that it was some coaches offering some stuff, and that was illegal.
For
so I said, we don't want to get in trouble. We ain't care about stuff like that, so we ain't take nothing to go to that school. But we wanted somebody genuine. We felt like Coach Sweeney was genuine, and Philip Homer. But but like I said, you could tell like some of them coming in there. Once your kid get on campus, they forget all about your kid. But these parents got to decipher.
Yeah.
They got to decipher through all the BS.
Yeah. Because I mean, kids are gonna be kids. Like, I mean, these kids are being recruited at 16 and 17 years old, and they're being told they're gonna get the world. We're gonna give you the world. We're gonna get this, get that, and they're deer in headlights. Like, what? You're gonna give me what? And then it's like I'm hoping that a lot of parents can help see and guide them through what's legit, what's not legit, and that's I haven't personally been sitting in a living room with Dabo, but I hear and I've heard that like that's the thing he'll tell you, like, you're not guaranteed to start. You got to come and earn your position.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I love about him is that nobody's position is guaranteed.
Right.
And I'll be honest,
longevity.
We may lose some big recruits because of that.
Yeah. But you know what? It'll fan out, and the longevity of your life, like NFL, then you ain't got no degree. You that's so you out of luck. And then you got go back to Clemson. He offering,
and the average NFL career is like 5 or 6 years.
That's right.
And he offer you like come back, and you can still be in the game that you love.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And like Sam was young. Sam is discernment. Like Sam is a godly young man. So whatever he said, as far as coaches and stuff, we watch him, and my husband is really good at that. He's the head of the house, so we watch, everything. But a lot of times, if Sam had a bad vibe, and he come back and tell us 9 times out of 10 he's right, because like I said again, he's an old soul. He's a very good person, and he can see between the lines. And he would come back and say, "Oh no, I don't." So whatever my son said, that's what it was. Wherever he was gonna pick to go, he had to go and be there. We didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had to. So you have to listen to your kids, and then you have to watch. You have to watch, and you have to listen to them. We knew what it was. We came from a struggle. It was nothing you can offer us. It wasn't happening. We just wanted a good place for him to go and play ball, get his education, or go to the next level.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
And you never know. Y'all know a guy named Richard Jurgen?
I don't.
Richard Jurgen?
Yeah.
That name sounds familiar.
You remember him. You remember him, right? We had him on podcast. He played for Clemson.
Jurgen.
Yeah, he was the guy who was in the car wreck.
Oh.
Flipped over. He was a defensive guy that he was projected to go first round in the NFL. And the story was he was over in Greenville eating his summer practice, and he was coming, I don't know, Pelham Road or one of those exits. And it just had one of those summer rainstorms. And car kind of went in front of him. He swerved and missed it, flipped over a couple of times down the embankment. And I mean, he was almost paralyzed, broke his neck. And had all this talent. And I think he had to wait out a year. And then he came back, he got hurt again. They said, "Look, your football career is done. I mean, if you play and you get injured again, it could be." So anyways, he's now a professor at Clemson, and he's written. I bought his book. He was at the Orange and White tournament. We sponsored. Rob was there, played golf in the golf tournament, so he had a sign and everything. I bought his book, and he has like a little motivational thing going with younger students and goes around. So you never know. I mean, you may be picked first round and get a big contract and all that stuff, but that's you got to look at it. What I'm getting at is you got to look at things long term.
Yeah.
So you just never know. You never know.
And that's why I love so much that Dabo pushes these kids to actually graduate.
Yeah,
exactly. Because I feel like NFL stands for not for long. I'm not saying anything, it's nothing bad, but it's a lot you have to deal with being in the NFL. Until you go through it and live it and know it, you won't know.
You're in a big city.
So many young players that get drafted to the NFL, and then they're on the practice squad, and then you don't hear from them anymore.
Did you go to some NFL games? I'm assuming, like
me,
Buffalo, yeah.
Oh yeah, I went like when Sam them won the Super Bowl in Miami. I was there. It was the craziest thing. Dion interviewed him. You know, you get to
Yeah.
be on the field and all that. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. You know, it was amazing. All I could do again is thank God because little us coming out of Fort Myers, Florida, you know, your son being drafted into the NFL, first round, fourth pick. You know, a lot of people don't know, even when he played for the Buffalo Bills, I think he played for like a year with a broken foot.
Wow.
Oh
Um,
wow.
you know,
Mm.
they say injury prone, but he was good at what he did. So, you know, I think he should be respected. He's great. He's a legend.
Oh yeah.
From
Yeah.
me, his mother. So that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now you've mentioned Dion a couple times. How do you feel about him being the coach over in Colorado now?
Um, I think Dion's a pretty good coach, you know.
Dan's,
Last year was kind of rough for him. This year looked like they rolling on back around and doing
they're
it.
on a
I
roll
have
right
a
now.
best friend that loves Colorado, so I have nothing bad to say about
Yeah,
about that.
prime time. He
Mhm.
played for my Cowboys for a while,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
but
love
Um,
Dion and I love
he
Mama.
backed it up. It's kind of like
He's
Muhammad
sweet.
Ali. I mean, he backed up. He was loud, but he went out there and he proved it. So I didn't have a problem with it.
yeah.
Yes,
Being a little bit cocky, be back it up.
that's
Mhm.
right. He sure do. That's why I said if you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk.
So people wonder
He
why
did just that.
1970 the day Elvis died, we moved from Clemson. I was born in Clemson, grew up there, but anyway, 77 we moved to Spartanburg. The day Elvis died, so it came on the radio. We're looking at the house. So people are like, "Do you ever live in Dallas? How'd you become a Dallas Cowboys fan?" And I said, "Well, back to what we were talking about earlier, we had the antennas, and you put tinfoil on it, maybe got 4 channels. Dallas Cowboys played every Sunday. They had the best looking cheerleaders. They were winning playoffs. They were winning Super Bowls. So as a kid, that was my first team, and they were winning. So automatically, I'm a fan, and it's kind of ingrained in me. And God, I wish I
Yeah,
never was.
growing up around. See, I grew up in 6 Mile, South Carolina,
Yeah,
for when I was
Whoa.
like 3 to 4 years old until I was about whatever age I was in 8th grade. We moved back over here to the Charlotte area, and I was always getting the Redskins games.
okay,
So I was a big Redskins fan for the longest time, and then when the Panthers came, I felt like, oh, got to be I need that home team, and I really loved with Sam Mills. I mean, all those guys.
yeah.
It just kind of became a Panthers fan, but I'll still support my Redskins. I got a ball right there.
I see.
I see. Well, my boys was
Actually,
young. I got them those. You remember back in the days they had the starter jackets.
oh
Oh
yeah, oh
I
wow.
had
yeah,
my sons had both of my boys had their starter jackets, the red skin. They was so nice.
yep,
Way back in the days. They
yeah.
probably was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that football right there, it's not the real autographs that's on it, but Joe Jacoby, who was one of the original Hog Mollies of the Redskins, I actually worked with his wife for a couple years, and
Mhm.
we would always talk football and whatnot, and so she brought that to me and said, "Hey, Joe said to give this to you." And it's got the 2015 Redskins team signatures. It's like a replica, but I still, hey, Joe Jacoby gave me that.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
Yeah.
so,
Like with
but
Sam, we got so much. My husband, we got box. They are not our boxes. We got so many boxes of just all his accolades out there. Keep
Mhm.
telling him you need to get them. Like, you got your house, get your stuff. He just actually gave him his rings because we got 5. We call him 5. Sammy the fifth, and he just gave him his rings from Clemson and
Mhm.
nice.
all that stuff so he can have it for him. So it's
Yeah.
just crazy. We're waiting on him to get his stuff. It's so much. It's stuff from high school up
From
through.
from Pop Warner.
He can't even remember. There's so much stuff. He can't even remember. He went out there and was going through something. He was like, "This is absolutely crazy," because my husband don't get his dad don't get rid of anything. We keep everything. You'll be surprised of the stuff we have. And he have every jersey from every team. The All American jersey. We went to what it was when they go to to Texas for the All-American game. We got
Oh yeah.
Army All-American,
like diplomas, everything, baptisms. We got it all.
I will gladly take one of those Clemson number 2 jerseys off your hands if you need somewhere for it to go.
We'd love to have
I'm
Sammy
gonna
on the
actually
show.
show you one real quick. Let me go get you one.
Look, that's why we wanted to do the Taj Boyd Foundation thrift store. We got so much merchandise, it's ridiculous.
Are you going to do it? You got one, or
you
going to
could set up a Sammy Watkins museum from what it sounds like.
I know I got enough merchandise to open up a whole store.
I've got merchandise. I don't really sell it.
I just need a building, a temporary thrift store. That's all I need is a building.
I got somewhere to put some of my stuff in there too.
I'm telling you, Little League, Pop Warner.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, my cousin, her sons are big football players right now. Like one is actually attending. Oh shoot, the name just went out of my head. Limestone College. He's a offensive lineman at Limestone. His brother, his youngest brother, Grayson, is actually a senior right now at Clover High School and is one of the top offensive linemen. Limestone wants him, but he's decided not to go there. And he actually got a preferred walk-on by Furman. He's got really, really, really good grades. And they want to do a preferred walk-on with him at Furman. So he might do that, or he might see who else is giving some offers right now. But yeah, they, so
there you go.
Oh, yes.
That's beautiful.
I love it. I love the purple jerseys.
Yeah, I do too.
How many jerseys?
They're going to have purple jerseys on this weekend, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the purple jerseys.
Me too.
That helmet, the helmet that's like right there, my cousin, they were doing some kind of clean out, and she put online about some of the high school stuff. And I played football at that high school, so I immediately messaged and said, I want one of the helmets. So I got one of the helmets from my high school.
We're gonna be 100 years old with boxes of stuff.
I'm telling you, it's a blessing. Yeah, it really is. Look at this. This is the Orange Bowl.
Okay.
Never touched it.
Oh yeah.
How dirty it is.
Oh yes, I love it. I love it.
That's where he broke the
I
record.
love it.
Yeah.
27 yards, I think 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Oh, that's awesome.
That was
Todd was throwing the air out the ball.
was that against Oklahoma? No, that wasn't against Oklahoma, was it?
That was against, man.
That's when Cole Stout. That was before Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Son got hurt. That was 2014. That was 2012.
Yeah.
2012. Yeah.
Not the West Virginia one.
No, West Virginia.
You remember? Then you come in that game. You come. When
the West Virginia one, 2012.
I just got an ESPN alert. West Virginia just scored again.
Yeah, really. That was a long game.
That game was brutal.
I wanted to just
3 touchdowns in that game.
It was like doomed from the start.
I'm gonna go through some of my stuff. I'm gonna see if I can find some of his Clemson pictures if I can.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're already signed. If not, I have them signed and make sure you guys get one.
Okay.
That's awesome. I greatly appreciate you.
And y'all know Taj be walking around. People just be coming
If I can find it, I'm already having. I'm gonna sign it. Even if I have to give it to you, Carla.
He be signing stuff every day.
Huh? Y'all gonna be at the game, both of y'all?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be at the West End Zone. Shoot me a text or something.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find those pictures so I'll be able to present you.
They got a tailgate set up. Let me look on my phone.
Dead here in a second, guys.
Let me tell y'all where the tailgate gonna be.
Okay.
I'll tell you real quick.
If the battery goes dead, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a tailgate.
What was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought too.
At the gate 9 somewhere.
Okay.
They're gonna have a tailgate. I'll text y'all.
Okay, we'll come by there.
I'll text you, Josh, and then
that'd be great.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that Sammy's playing some golf.
Yes.
You got to get him involved with the orange-white game. The orange-white weekend. Grayson Marshall.
Yeah.
Grayson Marshall puts on a very well
Evidently, he's
event
pretty
called the
good.
Orange White Weekend. And he has Friday night is the tailgate where you come and play some games and dunking booth, stuff like that. And some of the legends come over there.
Oh.
Everybody still there?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, there we go.
we just
I had to get my charger.
It's okay.
So, but yeah, the Orange and White game. So then on Saturday, they have the gala, which is like you can kind of dress up, whatever. It's
Kentucky
a nice
Derby. I went to that one when they was dressed in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, it was a dinner and mingling. What it was at the Lake House resort place.
Lakeside
Lodge.
Lodge.
Yeah. Okay. And then on Sunday is a big golfing event at Basketball.
Yeah.
And who was the one that won it?
Grayson won it. Grayson Marshall.
Yeah, Grayson Marshall and
Wayne Buckingham.
I don't
Wayne
think Wayne puts that.
He's the one that actually puts it on. I kept thinking Grayson Marshall, but it's actually Wayne Buckingham.
Y'all will love that though.
Yeah,
we had fun. They actually dunked me. I was in the dunking machine, which was fine. It's like 100 degrees that day.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, it was 98 degrees. I said, "Dunk me all you want to."
So when will this be going on?
That's in August.
It's usually like the first couple weekends of August.
Okay,
July.
I let him know. If you could send me the information. He would be there. Him and my husband, because he's.
And I'm gonna try to do an obsolete orange thing similar. If y'all know good cause that we can sponsor, I can do an obsolete orange tournament and we can raise money. Maybe do something with you, Carla.
Okay.
Talk about it. I'm in
Clemson
every
good,
week.
and I'll talk to Sam because it would be great. Sam has his own foundation as well.
Yeah.
He does a lot here in Fort Myers. Well, anywhere. Anybody asks him, he'll do. A lot of times you don't know it because he don't do it like that. He's always silent, when he do anything. So you'll never know, what he does. I have people pop up and say, well, your son did this. And I was like, you know what? Thank God. Because he does that. Like every year he have a Sammy Day here and he get bounce houses and music, free food. It's a bowling alley here that we go to, and it's free bowling for as many people as he can get in, laser tag and stuff like that. So we've been doing that. Sometimes it's a good turnout. Sometimes everybody don't come out to support, but you still supposed to do what you have to do. So
I think Sammy it would be awesome if he joined up with Wayne Buckingham and Grayson Marshall with that Orange and White weekend. It was a fun weekend. I had an absolute blast.
He would love this, especially with golf being involved. But he loves to give back, so that would be great.
Yeah. Wayne Buckingham kind of said it great. He said, "Where can you go in Clemson and only spend $300 for the whole weekend and get food and drinks and have fun and sit with friends and legendary players of old and new and whatnot?"
Just
so
love.
And all the money that's raised, goes to and I cannot think of the daggum foundation now that Wayne Buckingham does, but he started this a few years ago, about 5 years ago, for a friend of his that got cancer.
Somebody had cancer.
Yeah, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So
it was a lot of fun this year. That's the first time I went. But
they
got a dinner, dance. You got an autograph signing. That's something Sammy can come up for the autograph signing.
That's right.
We did that at Dabo's restaurant.
Carla is a cancer survivor. My mom is a cancer survivor.
I've got cancer right now. I've got cancer.
A lot of my family has.
Who said they got cancer?
I do.
You do?
Prostate cancer. Yeah.
Okay. God bless you and heal you.
I got to do chemo and all that stuff in January.
Okay.
God bless you, and he'll take care of you. He'll be okay.
Well,
I've got a good doctor. I'm feeling better about it.
Yeah, because I just had a major surgery. They had found a mass and they thought it was cancerous. Thank God it wasn't, but they did have to remove it. So I just had like a major surgery. So I'm slowly trying to come back from that.
Well, hopefully you heal quickly over that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you two ladies on tonight.
Yeah, I've
and
enjoyed this a
greatly
lot.
appreciate
Really
it. And I can't wait to see this new book come out. And
when y'all get it out, let us promote it for you. We'll put
Okay.
Don't forget,
It's an honor to be
Go on
here.
the
I thank
website,
you guys
social
so
media.
much for inviting me on. I
Yeah,
really
thanks for coming
appreciate
on.
it.
You did great. You did great.
and
Thank
and-
you.
and don't
As nervous
don't
as I
forget to
was.
go
You did great.
don't forget to get Carla's book that's already out. That's really good as well.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I'm excited to see some of these recruiting stories and
Oh
whatnot.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
know she called me before and prepped me up for it, right?
For tonight.
All you got to do is you just got to don't be nervous. So she called me like 5 minutes before we had to come on here. Because she know I don't like it.
Yeah.
You did good.
Real
Thank
good.
you.
Yes.
I always say it's like
Get
just
Sammy on
friends
here.
sitting around talking about
I
stuff.
like it. Y'all made me feel very comfortable. So
Yeah, we
thank
told
you
you.
so much.
Yeah, appreciate
Yes.
it.
Well, like I said, greatly appreciate you guys coming on. And I hope you have a great night. And again, I can't wait for the book to come out. And to everyone out there, go get Carla's book that she has now. It's a great book. And she's also doing a coat drive. I think she mentioned the locations earlier. So
Okay.
definitely help out with that. So, and we tried the Tiger chant when we first started this. It doesn't work out very well. So we usually just kind of end it with a "Go Tigers."
Go Tigers.
Appreciate
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
See y'all this weekend.
Yeah.
All
God
right.
bless everybody.
God bless y'all.
God bless
Thank you.
y'all. Thank
Okay.
you so much for
Thank
having
y'all for having us on.